I would say China is a continent. Yeah. From the north to the south, the climate, the characteristic of the people, the people's preferences are so different. Maybe a product that fits the north side for dry skin, for cold climate, cannot fit in the southern part because of the humidity, because of the high temperature, because of the texture needs that people would prefer light textures or would prefer oil control products than the hydration products. So you need to subdivide your markets and look into the specific needs of each region to launch very personalized products in every part.
Welcome to a new season of Provitalks, where innovation and purpose guide our conversations beyond beauty. Join us as we explore new ideas with inspiring voices from within and beyond the industry, because imagining what's ahead is the beauty of the future.
Welcome again to Provitalks, the podcast where we explore the forces that are shaping the future of beauty. In today's episode, we will focus on one of the most strategic, fast-moving, and puzzling markets in the beauty landscape. Eloy, I'm quite thrilled about this one because China is, for many international brands, a key market to focus on and, well, a very enigmatic market, we would say.
I totally agree with you, Clara. I think that every brand in cosmetics, they know the potential of the Chinese market. Every brand wants to sell in China. And I would add that in this case, well, it's a very big benefit for our customers that work with us, that Provital, as an international company with international structure, we can help to navigate how to reach these markets. And that's why today, lucky for us and for our audience, we have with us Nina Yang, General Manager in Provital China. Welcome, Nina. Welcome to Provitalks.
Hi, Eloy. Hi, Clara. I'm so excited to here with you talking about China, talking about the beauty industry. Well, let's talk.
Let's talk, but let's start with you. You have an amazing background, like always bridging cultures, but with, of course, a lot of experience in the Chinese market with Chinese brands and manufacturers. So we want to squeeze all that knowledge today from you. But first, please tell us about you and, your professional pathway that you followed until
Okay, so first I have a economy and language degree in bachelor degree, and then I have a business administration degree postgraduate. And before I entered Provital, I worked 8 years in consumer products branding in China. And then in 2014, it was an amazing opportunity that I found out that Provital has a vacancy in China. So I was thinking, I was about in my early 30s. That's a big moment that will decide your professional pathways. So I decided to change, and I made interviews with Provital, and luckily I got the position. It was the marketing and sales manager in China. And that's when Provital entered China. I think Provital entered China in 2012, 2013, and I entered Provital in 2014. So I took the advantage of the position and I began to explore the beauty market. And also I was very excited because as a beauty consumer, beauty is so, my passion. So I would say that from that moment, I'm a Provital trained beauty professional. And first I worked 3 years as marketing and business manager. Talking day to day to our distributors to get to know the market, to communicate to our clients, that's the factories and the brands and some cosmetic laboratories. And then in 2017, another opportunity appeared and I got the general manager role. So I began to, to run the company in a more strategic way and get to know the whole beauty market in China from another perspective. So that's more or less my professional life.
And since then, you have now a team there?
Yeah. We are growing in China. We still have a very small team, but I think it's very, very efficient team. We have a sales department and we have a marketing department. That's very, I would say that's very important and special in a B2B company like us. And then we have also our own customer department and the logistics team. So it's a small but fully equipped company. Yeah.
It's true. It's a small company, but you do a lot. And
Yeah, we
you
do
it by
everything.
yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very nice. I would like now to focus on the Chinese market. As we were mentioning on the beginning, it's one of the main markets in cosmetic. But could you share some figures for our audience so they can understand really the importance and the size of this market?
Okay, for sure. When we are talking about the Chinese market, I think most of us know that China is already the second biggest market in the world in the beauty market. And in 2023, I would say the total retail sales revenue reached around 100 billion USD. And that's amazing because it's almost 20% of the whole global beauty retail revenues. And regarding the final consumers, it was calculated more or less about 6,000 million people that are active beauty consumers. So that's a huge number in compared to Europe. It's almost I don't know if it's almost the whole beauty consumer numbers. And then if we are talking about our final customers, our key clients, well, I would not say key clients, the final customers, our objective market.
You mean the brands or the manufacturers?
The manufacturer. There are more or less 7,000 clients in China. Not all of them are our clients, of course.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, but we have still a long way to go. And I would say more or less it's very concentrated in the coastlines from the north to south. For example, in south, only in Canton province, we have more than 3,000 customers. That's a huge number. Yeah, and then the main brands are located in Shanghai and the Yangtze River coast. We are talking about maybe 1,000, 1,200 clients, and the rest is distributed in rest of China. So that you can see that the market and the industry is very concentrated.
Yeah, well, no wonder why many international brands admire the size of this market and its dynamism. Yeah. But many also see it as very complex. That's why you are here today to. First, we want to know a little bit what is this market unique, and what are the key factors that brands need to understand before entering the Chinese market?
Well, I would say first of all, the Chinese market is a very fast-growing market. For example, when I entered the business, the first meetings that I had with our clients, it was 11 years ago. I would say that 90% of the R&D people don't know where the keratinocytes and fibroblasts are located. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, sounds really strange.
Yeah, we were selling, in that moment, we already were selling the science, the pathways and the mechanism, but they didn't know anything. The Chinese market in that moment was dominated by the European brands and the American brands and some of the Japanese brands. But it developed so fast that you can see in only 11 years, the Chinese market has become the most competitive market in the level of science-backed, in the level of ingredient-driven, in the level of consumer conscious and educated consumers. So that's the first aspect I would say. And the second one is that the market, for many of the brands, they are so quick. They are not like the European companies. For example, I have a client, very interesting client. I would not say all the clients are like that, but this client is so interesting that they will launch every 21 days a whole set of new products.
21 days.
21 days. So you can imagine that R&D, their product team and all the design team are working every day. And in these whole new set of products, they will only leave one product after 21 days. That's the best-selling product. So the rotation is high.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're talking about good product, right?
Good products. They will only keep the best-selling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the quality of these products, well formulated with nice ingredients.
Yeah. Everything that you can ask for from the consumer side.
Yeah. So they fulfill everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know that in China, we work every day. As you all know, Chinese people are very, hardworking people. But the common knowledge is that in China, we work 996. What's 996? That's from 9 to 9 every day and 6 days a week.
Okay.
Not from 9 to 6.
Yeah,
9,
so
9,
that's 6. Why the Chinese market is so fast and evolves so quick.
Yeah, I would also like to add that, as you mentioned, like maybe 10 years ago, the Western brands were the main players in the market. But I believe that since the last year,
I would say after COVID,
or
maybe
after,
from late 2023,
the role and the impact of the local brands now in sales is
totally changed, has shifted. For example, I would say that maybe 3-4 years ago, the international brands were occupying more or less 60% of the market share. But now it's totally otherwise. Local brands represents 55 to 60% of the total market, and the international brands are losing their privilege.
Yeah, this is something we also discuss with Gilles. Because France, as many of the big French companies, they really rely on the sales on the Chinese market.
And it's a big challenge for the international brands.
So I assume that this shift is motivated by the consumers, right?
Consumers.
So how could you describe the Chinese consumers if we wanted to compare them with consumers from Western countries?
Well, I would say that's not an easy question because you need to analyze the question in different aspects. First of all, I would say that Chinese consumers are very smart consumers, like I would say consumers in all the world, because today you have all the kind of information available outside the internet, in social media, in the streaming platforms. The consumers, they get how would I say? They get themselves educated through the different sources of information, and they will compare. They will choose. They will not choose the brand. They will not choose the packaging. They will choose the best quality, worthy products that suits their best needs. So in this part, a lot of Chinese brands, they are positioning in the mass market with very competitive prices and with very well designed and formulated products, from texture to the packaging to the efficacy, and they know how to communicate with the local consumers. Another fun factor is that we were talking earlier that the Chinese market is in a stable way. The growth is not like in 5 years ago. It was like 8% per year. Now it's like 1%, 2%.
Yeah, it's more stable.
You would think that the market is shrinking, but that's not true. What we see in the market is that the market is growing in references of the sold units, in reference of the consumer group. The thing is that people are choosing the most quality and worthy products in the best price. So the Chinese brands and the Chinese companies are very cost conscious. They control every aspect of the cost in their supply chain to reduce the price, that the end consumers can have nice products with very competitive price.
And you don't have the tariffs from
outside.
Brands from outside
from
China.
Outside. That's a high tariff.
Yeah.
So the market is shifting. The mass market is growing a lot. However, the high end and the premium market is getting challenging problems.
And what about the e-commerce platforms? You always say that it's very important to understand how the consumers use these platforms, right?
Yeah. Well, we would divide these platforms into, I would say, three different parts. The first part is the giant platform that you all know from outside, like Taobao, Tmall, and JD and Douyin. In these platforms, brands are listed there with all their SKUs or with their products, and making their daily promotion. And nowadays, a lot of brands making live streamings in the platforms, especially in Douyin. That's the TikTok in China.
Okay.
Normally, if we are talking about live streaming sales around 2 hours, maybe a brand can achieve in the live streaming, I would say 3-5 million euros in 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, that's big sales. And then we can see another part of the e-commerce. So that's, I would say that's a part of the digital ecosystem. When we talk about how the consumers make their purchase decisions, they are highly influenced by the social contents. They are highly influenced by the live streamings. In the social contents, there's an app, a website that is very, very highly used by the brands and by the consumers. That's called Redbook, 小红书. I don't know. I don't know if it's similar or not to Pinterest in the Western countries. It's like the consumers will post their experience, their feedbacks after using a product. A lot of people like myself are using this application as almost like a encyclopedia. Whenever I have a problem or I have something to find out in lifestyles, in beauty, and even in travels, the first thing I would do is to open Redbook and to search my key points. So in this point, Rednote is very influential as people rely on the content shared by other users, not brands. And they trust the true user experience than the brand's advertisement.
Okay. So you're talking about UGC, right? Content created by the consumers.
Yes.
Plus, I assume you have like influencers or key opinion leaders in a concrete niche, right?
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah. So that's how consumers get their problem solved and get their information gathered. And then we go to some trigger events. Like in Europe, people will make a big purchase in some specific days. In China also, but the Chinese specific days are now totally shifted by e-commerce platforms. You know, the Double 11 festival.
Yes.
I didn't know it. But
Double 11. Well, Double 11 has
it's like 24 hours, right?
Yeah, 24
with
hours.
A big discount. It's like Black Friday.
Like Black Friday, but it's already shifted because the first time when we talked about Double 11, that's the 11th of November. That's we Chinese people think that that's the most single day, the singlest day of the year because that's a 111. So a lot of single people celebrated this day like people in love have their Valentines, have their Chinese Valentine, and with single people we also have our single days. And then Taobao in 1 year, maybe 15 years ago, began to celebrate this day by big sales. They offer big discount of all consumer goods to the customers. Mm-hmm. So every single people were like, wow, we need to purchase, we need to buy something to celebrate that we are single. And then it became a tradition that every year 11/11 is the huge sales event. Brands will do their biggest discount during the year, and people will buy a lot of things. They will stockpiling products like beauty products, like foods, like even clothes. So that's a big event. So this big event for our beauty market is like probably if the brand can manage well this festival, it will give them their turn back like 30 to 40% of their total annual revenue
in 1 day.
In 1 day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you think? it's always related, these kind of events, to local festivity, and maybe that's related to the shift that you were saying at the beginning from, international brands to the own Chinese local heritage. And
yeah, apart from 11.11, I think there are also some Chinese traditional festivals like Chinese New Year and the Mid-Autumn Days. I would not say all the brands where they do their flash launch or special edition for this kind of festival, but they are very important days because there are, gifting traditions in these kind of festivals. People will buy a lot of gifts and to give them to their loved ones. So they're a big opportunity for them also.
Okay. So taking all these sources and all this consumer data into account, which trends do you think are driving the Chinese beauty market right now?
Well, that's a very tricky one. Well, I would say that now Chinese customers, as we already said, that they are very smart. They are very well informed and educated. Nowadays, they know better. They know better how the skin works. They know better how their needs are, and they know what kind of ingredients have some specific benefits for their skin. So the market trends is science-backed and ingredient-driven products, and the consumers will find specific ingredients. They will find a specific concentrated products for their needs.
Exactly.
Yeah, people are not looking for one product for all. They are looking for hyper-personalized products. Maybe if you have some, pigmentation, you need to look for a specific pathway product that will fit your needs. If it's a suntan pigmentation or daily UV pigmentation or some,
Okay.
Yeah.
So getting to the root of the problem, even that is the level of education of the Chinese consumer.
Yeah. They will look into the problem and they will get a lot of information and they will find out the best quality and the worthy product.
Yeah. Well, they have a lot of sources for that information, as you said.
I would like to bring a new question. You have a lot of experience in the Chinese beauty industry for many years. So you have seen many different brands coming, going, but for brands from outside China, what do you say, or what is your experience of their common mistakes when they want to get in this market, but not being a local brand?
Well, first of all, I would say that foreign brands need to understand the local culture because, China has a long history of more than 5,000 years. We have our own culture, our own tradition, and our own aesthetic values. Not like in the Western countries, Chinese people, like most of the East Asian people, we like fair skin. We like the perfect translucent with no pore skin. And maybe the Western beauty is not fitting in that culture. We were not looking for tan products. We were not looking for lip plumping products because that's not the aesthetic standards. The Chinese market, the mainstream, I want to say that it's still dominated by three words. That's fair, that's light skin, skinny. That's skinny shape.
Okay.
And the third one is beautiful. The beauty for Chinese people is not like what the holistic beauty. They are looking for big round eyes, poreless skin, and perfect, everything perfect. So products to launch in that market should have this concept first in their minds. And then I would say that, you need to understand how to operate in China, how to manage, how to dominate these e-commerce platforms. Because we have seen that the international brands like Benefits for Isabella, they had a long history in China. They was very successful, but after many years, unfortunately, in 2022, during the pandemic, they abandoned China. They left from China because their market was not sustainable. The Chinese beauty customers no longer buying their products because there are a lot of local competitors. They have better products that had maybe better color shade, maybe better price than benefits. So they are getting, I would say, they are getting left behind.
Okay. So probably the mistake is that they do not adapt the product, the message, right? The approach to the customer.
And they are not evolving at the same pace like the Chinese consumer needs. Yeah.
You mentioned the fast of the market.
New products, always new product to fit the new trends.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so in the end, it's a lot of things. It's the product, the message, and like you said, the digital ecosystem.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing also the regional differences, right? Within
China. It's very important because, China is huge. China is not a country. I would say China is a continent. Yeah. From the north to the south, the climate, the characteristic of the people, the people's preference are so different. Maybe, a product that fits the north side for dry skin, for cold climate, cannot fit in the southern part because of the humidity, because of the high temperature, because of the texture needs that people would prefer light textures or would prefer oil control products than the hydration products. So you need to subdivide your markets and look into the specific needs of each region to launch very personalized products in every part.
And then how can international brands do that? What are the key success factors?
Well,
on the flip side?
I think that localization is the key strategy. But when we are talking about localization, it's not like a superficial localization. It's not translating the packaging from English or from Spanish to Chinese. That the brand must live in China to get to know the culture, to get to know the people, and to think how message their claims to the final consumers, how to communicate with them. We are not talking about launching the Western aesthetic values to the Chinese customer, but to learn and how to adapt your products to China. For example, L'Oreal, I think it's the most successful international brands in China because they get very close to Chinese consumers, and they launch specific design products for China. For example, that the one-use ampoule products are very, very trendy in China, and very big brands from Winona, from Frida, from Blue Match. They have the key products in the one-use essence. And L'Oreal was the first international brand that launched the one-use essence in China. So they get very close to the local consumers.
They really connected,
and they follow the trends very quickly.
So understanding that the same product that works in the Western countries for the Western consumer won't work the same in China, do you think that they have to consider two different new formulations, new products, new claims, or you can use the same base and adapt just the message?
I would say that you need to localize your formulation because maybe the base formulation is very beautiful, but you need to localize in the texture, in the scent, in the packaging to get into the Chinese consumers. And also the marketing policy and the marketing strategy must fit Chinese markets. You will not use you will not use the phrases like anti-aging in China, because in China people begin to be conscious about age in a very early stage of their life. People from 18 years will use anti-aging or pro-aging products because they think that the anti-aging process is a long process during all your life. So you need to adapt your products to the Chinese consumers. Maybe some products that in Europe is designed for clients over 50 years, but in China, maybe consumers around 30 years is already using it. So you need to adapt.
And what are the claims that the older consumer is looking for instead of anti-aging?
In advanced aging, maybe color control. color control. They still looking for no fear, light, and then no dullness skin.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very
Like
important.
radiance and-
Radiance is important. And then you also know that now the trends of black skin actually comes from I cannot say it comes from China, but it comes from East Asia.
China, Korea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we. I would like to go back to digitalization, and you mentioned these big platforms that the users are using right now to connect and to get to know the new products, new brands. So you mentioned Tmall, right?
Tmall, yeah.
And what about WeChat? Because here in Europe, we always hear about this tool for you that is like a social media by itself.
WeChat, I would say it's a combination of all the, not all, but most of the social media applications that you are using. It's a combination of WhatsApp. It's a combination it's a combination and integrated with the functions of WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. So it's a four-dimensional social media. And the one of the best function for me is that WeChat has a very accurate consumer profiling functionality. Yeah, brands can use WeChat to target directly to the key clients, key consumers, and launch them their message, launch them their advertisement, launch them their personalized advertisement. And also WeChat has another part that's WeChat video. That's kind of Douyin. But so nowadays, more brands and more KOLs are use this platform to make their videos, to make their short videos and live streaming. And also in WeChat, it's how do I say that? We say that in WeChat there's a private domain. It's kind of the social media version of direct sales. Direct sales is kind of getting old and out of the market, but it's still live in WeChat because everyone like me, like you, like every one of us can have a group of friends, a group of families. Maybe this one can organize a group purchase, and this kind of sales is getting more and more important in a lot of brands.
Okay, so you buy in bulk, I assume, to get bigger discount?
To get a big discount, and you share with the other consumers that are likely to share the purchase with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And does the usage of these platforms change from time to time, or are they used by different segments of population, or are there newer ones that are coming up right now?
New ones are coming up. Another emerging platform, I would say, it's Pinduoduo. Maybe you are more familiar with their international version. That's Temu.
Oh yeah.
Temu, yeah, we heard about it.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest competitor of Tmall in China because they are growing very, very fast. They have the best price from the manufacturers. They will skip a lot of in between supply chains points to get the best price to the clients. It's developing very fast, and more international brands are already in Pinduoduo, and the sales is blooming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that in Temu they also had this
beauty
section as well.
They have beauty sections.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of differences in terms of marketing, in terms of consumer behavior, let's say. So yeah, a challenging market for sure.
Because it's huge work, because you need to have a whole team to dominate all the platforms, because all the platforms are very important.
And they are constantly changing,
They are
updating.
constantly changing. For the moment, Tmall is still the mainstream, but Douyin, the Chinese TikTok, is getting more and more important. There are clear differences that brands positioning in Tmall, making Tmall their big sales place, is growing, but the growth rate is slowing down. While in Douyin, the growth rate is so quick.
That's the new one.
Yeah, that's the new one. Maybe the growth rate may reach 130% per month. So
Per month.
per month.
Wow.
So that's very important market for the local brands and international brands also.
Okay. I wanted to bring up another challenging thing about this market, which is the regulatory.
Oh, I would say that's very, very, very challenging.
We cannot forget about it.
Yeah, that's the important thing of the market.
So what would you highlight there?
Well, we can talk about issue from two different aspects. Well, from the regulatory part, in the product side, I would say that's a pain, totally a pain, because the brand need to understand the difference between an ordinary cosmetics and a special cosmetics.
Okay.
Because the registration and the filing process are totally different. The data, information, and documentation required to file or to register is totally different, because for an ordinary product, you will only need to file basic information like the ingredients, and the formulation, and their safety data. But for the special cosmetics, you need to have clinical data, you need to have safety data, toxicities for compliance dossier. And also the process is different. To file an ordinary product, maybe the time is from 5 to 10 days, while if you are trading a special cosmetic, the process may last from 8 months to 2 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's a big difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
And why do people need to go to the special
Because,
cosmetics?
for example, whitening products cannot claim an ordinary products. If you have whitening ingredient in the product, you must claim it whitening products. And whitening is specialty, is special cosmetic. It needs trial, it needs toxicity, it needs a lot of additional data, and the process is very long. And also for sunscreens and for hair growth, there are totally 5 categories of special cosmetics.
Okay. And anti-acne maybe? That's
What?
anti-acne as well.
Anti-acne, no. Anti-aging, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And it's not only the claims that you want to do, it's also the ingredients that China recognizes as.
That for me is the worst part, because from we are an ingredient provider, and we are working with ingredient every day. And since May 1st of this year, a new regulatory entered into effect. That's the safety assessment regulatory. That in this new regulation, the brands, the final products, need clear safety data for every ingredient, for every inky. So from our side, we need to provide the full safety dossier to our clients. And what happens in the Chinese system, they only recognize the internationally renowned database like the CIR, like the WGS, but not every ingredient that we are using have this kind of data, because a lot of plant-derived inches don't have this kind of data. So that's very, very challenging for us, because we need to find every source that is available for us to provide the safety data. And we need to see if the authorities accept this data. And also, if you don't have the data, if you don't have existing documentation to support this point, you are inevitably need to go to the clinical way. That's toxicity test and animal test. And that's what we are not doing.
Because it's banned in the...
It's banned in Europe, yeah.
Well, and ethically, we don't do it because,
Yeah, of course.
And so let's go on to the other part. That's the marketing part. In the marketing regulations, there are also a lot of taboos and points to get into account, because according to the regulation, you cannot use the words that says best, most. You need to prove them. But how to prove best? How to prove most, right? And also you need to have in mind that you cannot claim things that are not scientifically proved. For example, for acne products, you cannot claim acne treatment because treatment is medical word.
Yes.
That's what I had heard. Okay.
Treatment is medical words, and for cosmetic products, you are not a medicine. You cannot claim it unless the product has get under clinical trial from dermatologist ways, and it's clinically approved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you cannot claim it in the packaging. And what about advertising? Is it different?
Advertising is also prohibited. In the latest, I would say three months, there was an incident in our live streaming. Actually, it's a client of us, and their boss. It's a very nice girl, very passionate girl. She loves cosmetics, and she is in all the process of designing all the products. And now, as the live streaming is so on trend, she get into the live streaming to sell her products. However, she mistaken the concepts from essential oils to the cosmetic products, because in one of the products that she was promoting contain essential oils. So she said that the essential oils will help you to get your sleeping problem solved, or will help you to get your some skin issues solved, and that these claims are not approved clinically. It's only approved in essential, perfume treatment, sense treatment, but not for cosmetics, because that's totally two different categories. So she received a lot of, bad comments from the consumer side, and also the authority has been investigating this issue. And I don't know how many fines she had received, but it's also a very important thing to get into mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't know when you will get into the traps.
Yeah, no. And it's one thing to get cancelled by the consumers, but by authorities, that's a different thing compared.
Yeah.
So how would you say that an ingredient supplier, or like Provital, right? Or Provital in China, how can we adapt to this new regulatory, and what are we doing?
Well, the benefit we have, the structure in China, is that to helping us to get fast involved and the fast learning of the new regulations and the new laws. And also we are working day to day with our headquarter teams, like the regulatory department, the R&D department, from the very initial part of every product design. We will filter what kind of ingredients we can use, what kind of ingredient we will not use, so that we can have no problem in the future launch. And that's a long process, I would say. And also we get very close to our customers like brands. What's the key points they take into account when they design a product? Like most of our clients will use the EWG system. I don't know if you are familiar with EWG system. It's American environmental control system that will classify the ingredients into different colors. If an ingredient is blue, it's kind of safe with no toxin, with safe use history. And if the ingredient is yellow, it's kind of alarming because it may cause irritation or some allergens. And if it's red, it's prohibited. So a lot of clients of ours will use this system apart from other regulations in China to define their products. For example, I have clients, very, very, very picky clients. They will not have the word acid in their formulation because they think the word acid is irritant. Yeah, and I also have clients that they will not use tocopherol, vitamin E. Why vitamin E? That a lot of brands are using vitamin E like hydration, like nutrition ingredients, because they, according to EWG, vitamin E tocopherol is yellow as it's irritant and may cause acne. So that's very tricky thing that you need to take into account.
And what about the peculiarity of Provital, that is everything is naturally sourced? So our inkies are...
our inkies are totally green. Our inkies are totally sustainable, but we still have to face all these previously commented safety issues, the EWG issues, and sometimes It's kind of frustrating, but you will always need to find the correct way to work out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's challenging. It's challenging. I
Challenging,
know.
but it's
Sounds challenging.
It's
And
challenging.
we know internally
Yeah, it's
the challenges
challenging.
as well. So
Yeah.
of course, but
Yeah.
it's going.
It's going.
It's going.
And we are walking in the right path.
Yeah. Okay. Following that path,
Yeah.
what do you see? Because in the end, this episode has to say something about the future. So how do you think that the Chinese beauty will continue influencing the international landscape?
Well, I would say that China has our own voice in the beauty market. 15 years ago, maybe the Western brands will be maybe the J Beauty, K Beauty were the dominant players in China, but now the C Beauty is rising. Yeah, and also the C Beauty is not only keeping inside in China, they began to go outside. They began to export first to East Asia, and now I've seen some brands, some big brands that they already go to the Western. Like one of the most big brands in China, Proya, is already established their Paris office, and they are going to launch globally. So the view is different. They are not only Chinese focused. They have a global perspective. They have a global strategy. So I think C Beauty will have their own voice, and also that I think the Chinese market is still a very important market, as the per capita expenditure in beauty is far behind the European level, far behind even behind the Japanese level. As some statistics say that the per capita expenditure in China is around 450 RMB. That's kind of 17 euros per year.
17.
70.
70.
70. So you can see that there's still a huge increasement.
Exactly.
Yeah, there are space. There are space.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And what about the sustainable aspects now that you're opening you're opening the market to a global space?
I would say that sustainability is getting more and more important in China. Although till now people are still, ingredient focused, efficacy focused. However, conscious consumers have become more and more aware of the importance of sustainability, and big brands are beginning to pay their attention to the sustainability.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the listing companies are already issuing their ESG reports. They are not doing only CSR; they are doing ESG. And also, more and more indie brands, and they began to use the sustainable packaging. They began to communicate with consumers how the concept of sustainability can incorporate in a cosmetic products or in a beauty products, and in which way we can help to maintain the sustainability of a local life, of local, local ways.
So it's still
in a beginning phase.
No, but I mean it's coming from consumer demand. In the end.
Yeah.
Not yet regulatory things that we have to know. Okay.
For the moment,
not yet.
For the moment, no. Yeah. For the moment.
I have a question, and now that you mentioned that the most important Chinese brands are starting to expand and to export in other countries, do you think they will adapt the message to these different consumers, or they will commit the same mistake as the Western ones going to China and use the same language?
I would say they will adapt. They will adapt because their first market for the moment are Southeast Asia, and the climate, the weather is so different from China, so they will adapt to the local needs. And also the local needs are different from Chinese market. Maybe they need more or controlling. They need more cooling products that are in China. There's no huge demand, and the concepts or the claims like efficacy are in a different phase. Like in China, people maybe are not so ingredient driven, ingredient focused, and they will shift their focus more to the texture or more to the
sensorial part.
Sensorial part.
More important.
Yeah.
It's it's a matter of balancing the needs and also your
specific strengths.
Exactly. If C beauty is becoming more and more important for consumers, then it's something to take into account. Yeah, together.
Well, before finishing, I would like to ask you a favor.
Okay.
Not for us, but for our audience, especially those brands that they are looking to get into the Chinese market. They are already present, but they want to improve their performance. What would be your recommendations or your advice for those brands from Western countries to enter the China as a conclusion part?
Well, as a conclusion part, I would say first, you need to live there. You need to live there to know the culture. And the second, you need to get a clear positioning of your brand because the market is so huge and the competition is so huge. You need to clearly picture your profile, your position in which kind of market, who are your key clients, who are your key consumers, to have a clear picture that will help you to get shorten the way to get into Chinese market. And the third is that localization. You need to find a very, I would say, a very suitable marketing strategy to the local market to communicate the messaging, the experience with very adapted. Yeah, very adapted. And the fourth thing is that to find your right partner. If you want to begin from Tmall, Taobao, or if you want to begin with Douyin, there are two different approaches.
Yeah, align everything, right?
Yeah.
With who are you targeting to,
Yeah.
and how are you going to do it?
And also put attention to your KOL or KOC partners because they will make a huge difference.
Yeah.
If it's a niche market or if it's a mass market. But however, the investment will be huge.
Prepare a lot of money.
Well, as the potential,
Yeah.
it might be really worth it. So
Yeah, but be prepared to invest a lot at initial phase.
of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Go big or go home. You know that you gotta do it everything.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Nina. Now to end this episode, we're gonna do the quick questions.
Oh.
You may have heard about.
Yeah.
So the first question.
Yeah, we would like to know which is the last cosmetic product that you have purchased.
Oh, that's easy. I purchased a serum, a double face serum from one of our clients' brands. I will not mention the brand.
Okay.
But I like serums. And apart from that, this product contains one of our products, Dado Skin.
Okay, that you can say.
Dado Skin.
And what is that you look for when you're purchasing a cosmetic product? What aspects?
Well, when I purchase a product, the first thing I will do is to read the label. I will read every ingredient. I will try to find what's the key efficacy ingredient, the key active ingredient, and also I will try the texture. And apart from that, I will try. I will try. I'm not like the younger generation, Gen Z, that they will listen to the KOL and they will buy the products without trying. I prefer to try.
You are like that. She always said that she's the type of consumer that will go to the store, to the pharmacy.
But it's difficult. Every time it's getting difficult, more and more difficult for us.
Especially for the newer brands, right?
Because the offline sales channels are getting smaller and smaller. And well, for me, it's convenient because in Shanghai, all the brands are in Shanghai. But for consumers from other cities, from third tier or fourth tier cities, they will not have the opportunity.
Yeah. And especially these and the native brands and they don't have like a real structure. And or the ones that you mentioned that they launch a product for only 21 days. How did you reach the whole country physically?
Well, that's easy in China because in China we have a very developed delivery system and the cost is quite cheap. For example, if you buy a product from Tmall or JD, probably you will pay 80 cents of euros for the delivery, while in Europe you will pay maybe 2 to 5 euros for the delivery. Yeah. And also the speed is very fast. We have a very, very well developed logistics system. And mostly the product that you buy will reach you between 12 to 2 days, 12 hours to 2 days. It's very, very fast.
Considering the size of the country.
Considering the size of the country. And there's another emerging category nowadays to begin this year. That's I don't know how to describe it. There's a specific term, but that's a small storage that you have maybe in the same office building. But if you order a product, you will have it in half an hour. That's for especially designed for the urban citizens. Yeah, maybe you will have a meeting. You need a facial mask to get refreshed before the meeting. So the small packaging products are in this kind of storage, and you can order them on your mobile phone in WeChat, and they will reach in half an hour.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine. I was listening to an advertising yesterday that said, "Oh, yeah, you can reach this product in just a day. Tomorrow you'll have it as a big plate."
Yeah. But
In China, it's 20 minutes.
Half an hour you will have a product.
Wow, we are quite far from that, I believe.
This kind of system is very favorable for this kind of brand that they have high rotation. Yeah.
Okay, next question. Which is your favorite active ingredient from Provital and why?
That's very difficult. That's very difficult because I love all the active ingredients we launched, and they are so beautiful. Well, I would say, let me think, between orchestem and shilaksam.
Shilaksam.
Okay, shilaksam is quite beautiful, and the whole concept and the source, the bioscience, and all the the clinical trials. The clinical trials are really groundbreaking.
So in China, you believe it's going to be successful?
It's gonna be successful, but we need more time, and we need to target the correct customers because it's not a commodity product. It's it's a high value, and you need to find the specific clients. Actually, we already have some projects, very interesting projects launched in the market, but I think we will have more big products.
More to come.
Yeah, more to come.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay, so now complete the sentence. The best thing about the cosmetics industry is
Innovation. Innovation, yeah. You see in nowadays every day in China, in the world, that the new products, new textures, new packaging, and even the new communication messages to the consumers. That's innovating every day.
a new biological target, even like the science of also market through.
So every day you are learning something new. That's exciting.
And now, what would be the worst part?
Oof. The other side, our innovation, the fast speed. As I said, that every day you are learning new things. Every day you need to look into the competitors. You need to look into the brands, what they are doing, what they are claiming, what new pathways or new mechanism they are working on, and it's totally exhausting.
I would say impossible, right? I mean, to be updated on everything.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's impossible. But you need to get there, and you need to be there to know the market and to know how to talk with your clients.
Yeah. That can get stressful for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you look into the future, what are 3 aspects that you think would be key to achieve like the most beautiful future in general?
I would say bioscience. That's the most important one because everyone is looking for efficacy. Efficacy is the most important. And then I would say sustainability, because without sustainability, we will not have a future. And the last thing I will say, the experience, because we are in the beauty industry. The experience is what the consumers need, and we need to transmit our message, our scientific message, to the beauty experience. And I think that's the 3 main factors.
No,
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not a right answer, so that's perfect. Okay, final question. Which guest would you like us to bring here at Provitalks to talk to?
Well, I would say Proya. Proya. Proya is one of the top Chinese brands, and they are in high. They have a 10-10 strategy. That's in 10 years they want to be top 10 global beauty company. Yeah.
Something global.
Yeah, so I think it will be interesting if we can invite them to probably talk and to share their insights, to share their.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Of course.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned that they open an office in Paris,
Yeah.
they're a little bit closer to us.
Maybe we can invite them for the next episode.
Oh, I wish. Okay, well, Nina, that's all from our side.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's really a exciting moment for me to share some experience and some comments.
Super.
Yeah, with our audience.
No, it's super interesting insights that I think will work as a guide
Yeah.
for our audience if they are interested.
I really enjoyed the conversation.
Us too, and we hope our audience has enjoyed it as well. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for being with us.
See you in the next episode, and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can find all the episodes from the last season and this season in our channel as well, and in Spotify. See you in the next one.
Bye.
Thank you for watching and listening to Provitalks. We hope this episode brought you one step closer to imagining and creating the beauty of what's to come. Subscribe to our channel for the next conversation and connect with us anytime at weareprovital.com. Provital. Do care.